Thank you for joining us on 19 Cats and Counting, my fellow kitty lovers. We are super excited. We have wanted this man to talk to us for so long, and he is finally here. You may not know the name Sterling Davis, but I'm pretty sure you know about the Trap King. And that's who we've got today. We are so excited to get into this. We'll be right back after a sponsored ad. Welcome back. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with my lovely BFF business partner and, according to my husband, work wife, Rita Reimers.
I'm here. I love the little dancing thing you do. You guys are listening on Pet Life Radio. Don't see that, but once we put the video up on YouTube, you get to see Linda's little dancing thing as we're going to break.
It's kind of me, you know. You can't say anything that I can't turn into a song and dance to.
Well, that's why we get along so well in the same way. But anyway,
I got spirit in me. Everybody just disengaged because
I don't want to waste time talking to you.
Yes.
I talk to you all the time. Okay.
Thanks. Love you too, baby.
I want to talk to Sterling, Trap King.
No
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Sterling.
Thank you for having me. Y'all are hilarious. Thank you.
Maybe if you can't laugh at life, you're in trouble.
That's a true statement there. That's a true statement.
Right.
Life can be rough. Just laugh your way through it and make a joke, babies.
I was reading a little bit on your website, Sterling, about how you got involved in this. For those people who don't really know, tell us your story.
So, yeah, I actually have been into music and entertainment my whole life, actually. I always loved cats and animals. It's the reason I was vegetarian at a young age, but I never was in a rescue or anything like that. I've always done music and entertainment. So it happened literally in between music tours when it hit me that I got into this world. This world kind of ran up on me because I was just trying to find something to do in between music tours. And I saw on Craigslist just a shelter needing help. And it was scooping litter for cats. It was helping with the cats and scooping litter. And at the time, I had a cat named Rick James, and I love cats. So I'm like, this is easy. This
I can do that. Yeah.
Right.
No responsibility. I'll just do this and then I go back on tour. But while I was there, I saw how rare it was for men, for Black men, especially, to be with cats.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those light bulb epiphany type moments where it was like, I think I need to stay in this world. So
God said, this is your calling.
Right.
I'm finally showing you what your purpose is in life.
Right. As much as I love music, and I still love music, but it was really like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
What kind of music did you play?
Rap. I did rap. I played. When I was young, I actually played the violin.
I took violin lessons too. That's a hard instrument.
It was hard for me because it wasn't cool back then. All the guys
that's true.
Yeah, they used to make fun of me. Like, I was on the football team and they walked by and saw me playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it was like jokes.
Game over. You're toast now.
Yeah, it was like way too bad.
I'm just trying to picture, I don't know, were you always a big guy that, because I'm just trying to picture this big black dude.
Well, he said he was
Mary Had a Little
football.
Lamb on his violin. It's just I'm missing something here.
You know what? I've always been eccentric, I guess is the word. I've always
looked at a good word,
like Jimi Hendrix and Prince. So for me, it was fitting for me to play the instrument nobody else was playing. So
I love that.
Nothing
You're
wrong with
good
being
eccentric
here or eclectic or whatever you want to label yourself. There's nothing wrong with being a little different. If you're like everyone else, you don't stand out.
Right. I'm like, that was my problem in the military. I was too much of an individual. So it was tough.
Oh yeah. Military is major. What branch did you serve in?
Navy.
Navy. My daddy's a Navy man. I have a little special thing. Yes.
You got to tell your dad, hoorah.
Hoorah. Yeah, exactly. Yes. His ship is actually dry docked in Norfolk, Virginia, and I want to go see it someday. Imagining my daddy before I was born, and all of his crazy stories, which weren't all appropriate for the air, but we'll move on.
I know some of those stories. I know about
That's funny.
Where'd you get your tattoo, Dad? We went on leave. I woke up, my arm hurt.
Right.
Good story. Good
Great
story.
story. Great story. You see all of mine. That's why I got some tattoo stories.
Yeah.
I'm a tattoo virgin. We keep saying when we finally land our TV show, the first episode, she and her daughter Nikki are going to drag me in.
We're trying so hard.
Get my first tattoo.
My daughter's got a cat right here with little cat prints across it. I've got a cat on my foot, and I'm like, you have to get a cat on you. And I'm scared. I'm like,
I'm a big fat chicken, so I'm gonna have to be somewhat inebriated.
Yeah. I have to take care of you. All right. We got our plan at least in motion.
Right.
So how did you go from scooping litter boxes to trap, neuter, release?
Yeah, it's a big leap.
So it was really just the litter. I mean, well, the scooping litter, helping out with the cats. And eventually the CEO, she came to me and was like, do you know what TNR is? You ever heard of TNR? And I'm like, what you talking about? A drug, a dance? Like, I don't know what is TNR?
The new rap group.
A lot of people don't know what that means. A lot of people don't know.
Like, so, but she came to me with that because she felt like I was good with people, you know, probably a breath of fresh air from what's really usually out there, and probably to help some of the cat ladies. But then I didn't know. So she told me, we're going to promote you to community cat coordinator, took me through a ton of training. Like, I remember for a while, I was just going to best friends conferences and going out trapping with different ladies that did TNR.
Mm-hmm.
So she just trained me up real good on TNR and community cat care. So when she put me out there on my own, I started seeing like, okay, where I could fit, what my niche was, and I fell in love with it because, again, I didn't know. I'm usually the guy that's gonna do what everybody else isn't doing. So I knew amongst my friends I was weird. I was a weird cat guy, but I didn't know it was so taboo for Black men all over the world to not have cats or to not.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
So I was like, okay, I'm supposed to change that. That's what I want to change. So I started to focus on that a lot more heavily.
So you actually go out and, I'm sorry, Linda, do you actually go out and do the physical trapping as well? And you do. How did you feel the first time you did it? The first time you went out to trap, what went on? I mean, were you nervous about it?
I mean, really, the first few times I was going out, I was going with women that had been doing it forever. So it was good. It was real easy for me. It was more so like just fun, bounty hunting. When I started doing it on my own, it was like I had to learn certain things. I had to learn that, okay, my vehicle probably shouldn't look like the the 18 van.
Yeah, right.
Like I shouldn't look intimidating when I go in these neighborhoods. So, and then I was like, okay, let me make sure that I inform the community before I go into a neighborhood and not just pop up with traps like, hey, I'm here, I'm about to rescue your cats.
Right.
So it was a learning process.
Are you frozen? Is he frozen for you, Linda?
Yeah, he's frozen on my end. Yeah.
So it's not me.
We'll just keep, hopefully it'll resolve itself. Yeah.
That's okay. It's frozen on. It's frozen on an image where you're not making a weird face or anything.
Yeah, when I freeze, I always go or something. You know, it's always really good. But yeah.
I hope the connection comes back.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. You still with us, Sterling?
Oh,
we lost him.
Did we lose him?
We lost
him. Well, we'll get him back. And, you know,
Mark will edit out the space and pull it back. Yes. Thank you, Mark. We love you, Mark.
We love you, Mark. We do.
Yes.
So when he comes back, I mean,
pick up where we left off. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Probably 8 minutes until I have to take a break. Eight recording minutes. So we have to take a break. What a bummer. I hope he gets back in. Okay.
I know, right?
Here he is.
Here he is to say
welcome back. Your mic's off. Your
mic's muted. Unmute your mic.
There we are. Yeah, that's okay. Mark will edit that out.
Yeah. Did my Wi-Fi just cut off or something?
Yeah, I think so. Because you froze and then you were gone. You want that? There you go. But that's okay. Mark will just edit out that space.
Yeah.
We'll keep
so we gotta go. We got about 8 more minutes before breaks.
Okay.
8 more recording minutes.
All right.
So we're talking about your first experience and that your vehicle probably wasn't what it should have been.
Right. Like you want to have, I had to learn that you want to have a vehicle that's saying what you're doing. So you don't scare the heck out of people coming
I'm
in.
actually looking at it right now on your website. I'm
Right.
actually looking at a photo of it right now. I
The
love
guy
it.
pulls up, I've come for your cats, right? Like,
Before
what's that guy
before
doing?
that RV, before that RV, I had a van, like a conversion van, much smaller that I was living out of. So that the RV now is an upgrade, big
Ah,
upgrade.
That's
Nice.
good. I'm sure the
really
people in the
devoted your
neighborhood
life.
would, if you weren't labeled, the people in the neighborhood would be like, "What's this man doing creeping around our bushes?"
Right.
Right.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Right.
For those of you listening to the podcast, I'd like to paint a picture for you. So Sterling came on and said that, we weren't wearing our cat ear headphones. So we put them on, and he's wearing his own cat ears and looks lovely. And we fell in love with him at that moment, if we didn't already love him.
We right away reached for our cat ears.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
okay, we can do
Yes.
this now. And he's holding a beautiful white kitty named Alana Morris.
Alanis Morissette. Yes.
Hi,
She is gorgeous.
Meow.
I've told my husband before when I saw a white cat that I loved, I said, but we don't have a white one. And he's like, these aren't shoes. We have 11 cats and a small dog. What are you doing?
Linda's husband was not a cat person, but he's been converted. He'll even we got him when we were in LA, we got him a kitty cat bathing trunks.
Yeah.
And
they're
they're
obnoxious and I love them, but my husband is very much like me. I couldn't have married him. He's like, I don't give a crap. So yeah, it's amazing. So
he was like one cat, just one cat.
Yeah, so
okay,
that, when he finally gave in,
just
because my daughter and I were volunteering at a shelter and we kept talking about Supra, and finally he was like, all right, one cat. Just one. And, we looked around for flying pigs and, the world coming to Armageddon, anything.
It's hell on fire.
Didn't happen.
So
So, yeah. Right. So we got the cat. And then I said, they really do better in just two cats. We have 11 cats in this house, Sterling. I got to tell you.
And then
Like
when she adopted the kitten,
later.
he's like, why didn't I adopt a kitten before?
Yes.
They're so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. We can't resist the ones, especially the special ones, the FIV positive cats, Rita's got a cat with 3 legs, those are our cats, right? Like we're the weirdos that come into the shelter and go, who's peeing on beds? That's the cat I'm taking home, right? Like,
So you're on
That's how it
wheels,
is.
Sterling. You're all over the place. Where are you now and why are you there?
Right now I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. I do a lot of work with a group out here called the Asheville Cat Weirdos.
Mhm.
So shout out to the Asheville Cat Weirdos.
Yes.
If anybody listening.
yes.
And I'm also about to start doing some work with the ASPCA out here too.
Love it.
So I travel a lot between Asheville, North Carolina, and Atlanta.
You have to make a stop in the Charlotte area because that's where I am. I would love to meet you. I'm just 30 miles
the goal
south
is to
of
go
Charlotte.
everywhere. I gotta travel the world to go everywhere.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. When your home is on wheels, look, that is Sterling, I know you love this. I know this was your choice. I know you're having a great time, but you literally gave up your life for cats. And that's, no matter what you do, that alone, we're in love with you.
Sure.
It's just over, right? Like, it's just, that's what it is.
I would literally encourage people to really, I think Jim Carrey, I read something about Jim Carrey saying it. He said it best. He was saying, I wish everybody could just get rich and famous so they could figure out what really made them happy.
So true. So true.
And that is like a big deal. Like you could have so much money and things, but if you could find out what really makes you happy and live doing it.
Yes.
Hey,
I gave up a 6-figure job to work with cats almost 20 years ago. And I don't have a lot of money now. In fact, sometimes I'm not sure how I'm going to make it, but I don't care.
Story
I'm
of our
happier.
lives, right, Sterling? Like, we got that.
Everybody I talk to, they be like, man, I saw you on TV, and they think I'm rich and doing good. And they see how I'm living. They like, what in the world are you doing? But I feel good though. And throughout the country, it's a lot of cats I'm responsible for helping them. That feels good. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Well, yeah, you're preventing so many births, whether doing the TNR. Yeah, we all love kittens, but it's kitten season now, and we're going to be inundated. The shelters, the rescues, the neighborhoods,
Here we
everywhere.
go. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and those cats don't have, somebody asked me the other day, I write on Quora about behavior stuff because our big goal is you're getting them off the streets. We're trying to keep them in their homes and keep them from getting surrendered. You
Or
know,
the other end.
134,400 cats are surrendered just to US shelters each year for behavior problems.
Just for behavior
we can
problems.
fix those. We can fix those.
Yes.
That
yes.
doesn't
So,
count the ones that people rehome or the ones that people open the door and say, go be free.
Kick
That
out,
doesn't even count
or the
those.
private rescues. Yeah, that's
Right.
just so it may, and that's just in the US. So that's just in 1 year. So just imagine it. Yeah, somebody had written to me on Quora and said, I don't get it. What's the point of TNR?
Are you
So
kidding me?
I did the math. I know, right? Like, really? So I did the math and ended up with, 8 billion cats that can result from one or whatever that number was. It was a crazy number. And I said, can you even imagine how overrun with cats we'd be? And then look at these cats. They're getting hit by cars. They're getting attacked by animals. They're getting sick and there's no human to help them. They're suffering. How can we just stand there and let that happen?
It's hard to
Crazy.
even think about.
It's very crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, to be able to, once you see it, it's one thing to not know it, that it's happening and it's out there, but once you see it and to not make a move, it's crazy.
I know.
Exactly. Now, my big question is, I get trapping the cats. I've had an escapee once that I had to trap, and we accidentally trapped a feral and she went spazoid. And I thought, okay, I got the trap part, but in all seriousness, what do you do with these wild animals? How do you even open the door? I'd be like,
Well, for one, you have to have a partnership with a veterinarian, right? To do the actual neuter.
Oh yeah. So once you got them in the trap, they're gonna be mad. Like, who wouldn't be? If you go in a restaurant and the door shut and everything, it's like you're gonna be scared. So it's already traumatic, but you cover them up first and foremost. You want to cover them up with a blanket or sheet. That calms them down because they don't feel as exposed and like they feel real. And I'm actually I'm trying to get something right now because people usually cover traps, but I would love if we had traps that was that had something like a feel away type of deal on it that calmed the cat as well while you cover them.
Sure.
So something
Or
that
like
was on the blanket
cat
that
calm in the food. Cat calm in the food, Linda.
Hey,
yeah.
hey,
You crazy cat ladies. Do you know who they are? You know,
There's
crazy cat ladies. Yeah.
I need to talk to Jay and Adrian about that. Yeah, they're my girls.
They're
two crazy
awesome.
cat
There you
ladies.
go. Yeah,
Mhm.
we love them. We are like a little bit obsessed. So
Mhm.
yeah, there are a couple
my
products.
girl.
My daughter had to move back home. a
Can't
year
live
and a half
without
ago.
convivial house cat.
Yeah, convivial house cats. The other one. Yeah. We're
This
gonna
stuff is
we'll give you some
awesome.
information. These
yeah.
are our little trade secrets for behavior issues. But yeah, my daughter had to move back home after we lost her husband to COVID a year and a half ago. And she had 4 cats and I had 7. So that's how we got 11. And
It was ugly.
integrating, it was very ugly.
was
Like
ugly.
I was just going to move into a hotel and let him call me when it was over. But, I'm a behaviorist, right? But, putting 2 clouders together, especially, her cats are grieving. Sebastian had been, intubated and in a coma for like 26 days before he even passed. So, dad disappears, mom disappears. Now we're at grandma's house. What is happening to us,
And dad
So
never came back.
Yeah. So fighting things for anxiety became our top priority.
I can
We
imagine.
tried it all.
Like you
So
said,
this is
combine
actually from
powers.
catfairies.com.
Yeah.
But then we love the cat calm from Two Crazy Cat Ladies
yes,
too.
yeah, I use both of those. Yeah, it's cat calm in the meal, and then I like the convivial because it's a spray, so you can spray it in the trap. You can spray it on your hand and pet the cat. You can, so
Spray
gives
it
you
on a
little-
cloth and put it in there. A little
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be something like that I would do, like for the cover, a common agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we don't, once they get trapped and then they go to the clinic, once you got a scheduled appointment with the clinic with the vet, then when you take them to get spayed or neuter, they had them. They got their ways. They don't open that door though.
No, they probably.
Yeah.
I had a cat that was so anxious they used to have to gas her while she was in the carrier. That's probably what they do.
She was serious.
Yeah, she was nasty girl. Well, she was a feral kitten when I got her, so some of that feralness that was precious. Linda.
Okay. I was wondering. I was going through your
you know
list.
what? We have to take a real quick break. But we'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm so fascinated by this whole conversation. We'll be right back. We're back with 19 Cats and Counting. My lovely co-host Linda Hall and the awesome Trap King himself, Sterling Davis. I'm in love with you
baby.
already.
We are. Yes, we are. We are. I can't begin to guess how many miles you've logged, how much money you've spent doing this, and how many lives you've saved, Sterling. Not just the ones that you got off the street, but the babies those cats were going to have.
Yeah. The babies, there's been situations like I didn't know until I got out there really doing it that cats can be pregnant at 4 months old.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
I had cats 4 months old, and I'm thinking, and the vet is telling me, Sterling, thank you. I don't think that cat would have made it through carrying these babies.
Right.
So it would have been bad all the way around. It could have been a real bad situation.
Definitely.
They're almost as bad as rabbits. Almost. Rabbits can start at 3 months, cats 4 months.
Yeah.
And cats too, they can get pregnant while they're pregnant. So you can have different fathers.
Yeah, and it's like that stuff is like, wow, cats are really out there doing it.
Yeah,
really
they are.
They really
yeah,
are.
they are. I don't know, the podcast people can't see behind me, but I guess
well,
got down. I was
going to say
the really fluffy Maine Coon looking one on the bed, but now she got off the bed. And the gray and white are brother and sister, and the two boys look very much alike. And then we've got this Maine Coon, and we're going
different
mama,
different daddy.
Mama.
Right.
And they can get pregnant while they're nursing too. So before they're even done weaning the current kittens, they can get pregnant again. It's really bad.
And seniors, we've seen really old cats.
Oh, my Peanut, his mom was 15 years old. Wow. I don't know how and then the people are like, I was volunteering with Save a Life Rescue in LA when they brought him in. I don't know how our 15-year-old got pregnant. Well, obviously you let her outside and you didn't get her spayed. Hello.
Right, she wasn't spayed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Luckily,
it
she
was
only
a miracle. We should rename her the Virgin Mary. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say that's the Virgin Mary kitty,
right?
That's
right. People they just don't know. They don't understand. And the key is education. And not only are you out there doing TNR, Sterling, you're educating people.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, on a lot of different things, because for one, like we were talking about earlier, is again the behavior of it. A lot of times I've gotten into working with people with just taking their cats to the vet on the simple things of like whistle training, clicker training, and leaving your carrier out in the open.
Yes.
So that
I
it
can't
doesn't
believe
come
people
out like
don't
the devil.
know that.
Yeah, so many people just pull it out and be like, I don't understand why when I pull it out, they go running. Stop pulling it out. For one, just leave it out.
To me, that's common sense. And I just can't believe we have to tell people that in our sessions.
Well, you have to understand cats' thought process, right? You could get a dog to do that. But, cats, strange sights, strange smells. They're both predator and prey in nature. So they don't like change. They don't like new things. You just pulled that out of a closet. It smells different. It looks funny. I got to decide if I can trust it or not for him. And why are you chasing me and trying to shove me in it?
I had to take Oliver.
Get me in here.
Exactly.
I had to take Oliver in this morning and it was easy peasy. 1, 2, 3. I had to take him in Monday too. He's got a hematoma on his ear. He's taken care of right now. I'm a nervous mommy because I know he'll be okay, but whenever they have to go under, I get nervous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you, so one of the biggest things that we hear is, that people feel that it's inhumane to keep their cats inside, that cats should be able to explore and climb trees and do their thing. What is your answer to that?
That's the thing. Like we have to understand that cats are alive and they have different personalities, different feelings. You have cats that would prefer to be outside, and then you have cats that want to be inside. My girls, both of them are rescued. Neither one of them want to be outside.
Yeah, they've been there, done that.
Exactly.
I can walk them out on a leash, but it's full of treats, and it's after a while they like, hey, okay. I tried to take my cat Demeter in the snow, and she was looking at it like, I don't know what you think I'm supposed to do with this, but we're going back inside. So
she's like, Daddy, exactly. I'm a diva. I don't step in.
Exactly.
So
what are you thinking?
Some cats just love to be outside, and then you got some cats that want to be inside. You have cats that want to do both. I've been in areas where cats are indoor, outdoor. I think understanding that they're alive and they're going to want it to exercise their options like any other thing that's alive, that's the
Yeah.
case. But
Yeah.
If you're
I
going to
hear a
let
lot of
them
people
out,
say that.
you need to do spay neuter. You need to spay and neuter
Well,
because
if you're gonna
otherwise
let
they're out
'em
there
out,
making babies.
if you're gonna let them out, I would hope that they have a collar, they ear tipped and microchip.
Yes.
If you're gonna let them out,
Yes.
I hope you're taking those methods, because if not, they may run into somebody like me, which I do check for microchips.
Good.
Sure.
Catch a cat. So, and if I see a collar, I do take those precautions. But if if your cat gonna be outside, you definitely want to spay, neuter.
Yeah.
And I would definitely get a collar and
Yeah,
microchip.
for sure. You
And-
might
and
not
you
get it
need
back.
You need to know where you are and who your neighbors are. We've seen
Right.
and heard things that I can't even repeat without getting ill or
No,
crying.
don't.
And I don't want to mess up the makeup. I worked very hard on it. So, vanity. I told somebody once, your neighbors may not like your cats. My dad was a GM guy. He got a new car every 2 years. And I remember one day we had a neighbor that fed all the neighborhood cats and, had 8 million cats on her lawn. And my dad came out and there were these paw tracks on his brand new car. Oh man, I've never seen them.
Yeah, that was ugly.
He lost it.
I
And,
bet that was ugly.
And we've had indoor outdoor cats that have, dug up our flowers to use as a litter box, or, we had one hanging out on a top step by the door. It was so friendly, but he was really full of fleas. And I ended up bringing fleas in my house. You have to understand that your neighbors might not appreciate that cat. And some will let it go like me because it's not the cat's fault, but others will do really awful things.
Oh yeah.
So and you
Yeah,
can't keep a
we have
cat in your yard
stories.
unless you have a catio or something. So,
We love the catio.
know
Do
your
you-
area, know your surroundings.
Are you finding,
so
Sterling,
true.
that more men are getting involved in not just TNR, but cat ownership since you're leading the way and educating them?
Yeah, I can see it. I see it coming, happening more. It's what's funny is that I see not only are more men getting engaged, but a lot of it is men that have been engaged and just secret or quiet about it are saying it now, because you
Right.
had a lot of guys, like I went out looking when I first got started, and it was hard, even going to certain cities right now. I'll go to a place and I'll speak somewhere, and then I'll have guys later on and they walk up to me like, "Hey, I got 2 cats."
Oh,
Why are we whispering about that? Like, why is it a secret that you love cats? Like, but I see a lot of that now. So I see a lot of new guys getting engaged.
Yeah.
And I also see guys that's been engaged and been doing it, not as afraid to talk
Being
about
more
it.
Yes.
open.
Yeah,
let
they
me
look
just
more open.
tell any men that are listening right now,
You're probably going to say what I was thinking. I bet you.
heterosexual men anyway,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
think that's sexy.
Sexy.
Okay. You remember Elijah Jones that worked for us? I mean, that guy's
Yes,
got, what is
ma'am.
he, like 6'6", big black guy.
What?
Yeah.
And we were shooting something for This Is LA, and they
Yeah.
brought a kitten, and I've got this picture
Little
with
teeny-
Elijah holding this
little
tiny little
teeny-
kitten, and it's like,
That'll do
you've
it.
never been so handsome in your life, Elijah.
do
This
it.
was it.
That'll do it. That's how I
That'll
got
do
a
it.
lot of.
We
a
couldn't-
lot of
We
guys.
couldn't get him to adopt one. Not quite.
But
Elijah, are you listening?
You
No.
would be surprised, and I've told people so many times. 2 of the things that helped me get guys engaged was the concept of guys finally saying, "Wait a minute, you be out there all night with all of those ladies, trapping cats? That's you with all of those women? It's just you?" And
All
I'm
to
like, "Yeah,
yourself.
that and remote control drop traps, because it's a trigger and it's kind of video
Ooh.
gamey gadget like
Right.
That's
That's
a
a-
fun thing for a guy.
That's a
It
dude
is-
thing.
Listen, those 2 things got more guys, helped me get more men engaged
I
than
love it.
you would believe. Just the whole trigger point of it, of that remote control
Uh-huh.
trap, guys were losing their mind. Like, "Oh, okay, I can do that. That's dope. I do that. I do that."
Waiting from a target. Yeah.
Right. Bam. Like, I was like, wow, we are.
Cat trapping ninjas out there.
Yes. It is a guy thing. It really is. It's Girls don't want
Hey.
to necessarily be sitting out in the cold weather and trapping cats. It is kind of a dude thing, but and not just men, but the Black community. I saw what's her name?
Lashonda.
Giffard, something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. We love her. I saw her on a podcast.
She
She's a
owns the
Black
paw
woman
shop in
who-
Florida. Let's give her a
Yes.
plug.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I
Yes.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know Lashonda.
Yeah, Yeah,
We
Love
love
her.
LaShonda. But she was on a
Get
podcast
her.
basically about diversity and the lack of diversity. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, yeah. And I start thinking, I've never met a black vet. And I was talking to Rita and I said,
yeah.
Rita had a cat sitting company for over 17 years. And I was executive
Just for
director
cats.
for the last 3. And I was like, I think we only had 2 people of color the entire time. I was like, you know, all of a sudden I'm like, wait. So we reached out to her and said, will you be on our podcast? We need to talk about that.
We need to discuss this.
Four people. It's horrible. And it's not that we were turning them down. It's that they
2
were
ladies
applying, right?
and 2 men.
That's the reason why I say diversity is so important. That's one of the things that helped me get into it, because when I started, one of my major situations that I always remember is I was returning cats and some guys walked up to me, and I'm in a predominantly black neighborhood, and dudes walked up to me and they like, hey, you know, white people put tracking devices and diseases in cats and dump them back in black communities to hurt. And I was like, what? That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening at all. But that right there, that lets you know how important the communication and education has to be, because what are cat ladies going through when they go in these neighborhoods? How are they being looked at? If that's the thing, then you're going to have a lot of people getting ran out of these neighborhoods.
Sure.
And they're just trying to help cats.
Sure.
So the education is so important. Diversity is so important, not just to be able to go in these neighborhoods, but to engage,
To
other people,
educate
get
and
more help.
engage. Sure.
You got to get
Yes.
more help, because this people literally was thinking that. I had to
I've never heard that one.
Well, of course we wouldn't hear it, Linda, because
I had never heard of it.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, man, y'all believe it? I was like, why would it be in cats? Why wouldn't it be something that we supposed to typically like? Like, why wouldn't it be pit bulls or something like that? Like, that doesn't even make all the way sense, but that's the type of stuff that can get put out there before
I
you know
know.
it's hurting the mission. So
It
it's
definitely is.
extremely important.
I hate that there's still such a divide between black people and white people. I really hate it. I don't see color. I mean, I know we have different ethnic backgrounds and I embrace that.
I mean, I see it to the same extent as I see that Rita's blonde and I'm brunette, but it just doesn't matter, right? Like, she's no better or worse than me. She thinks she's better
those
than me, but she's not.
brunettes, you know.
But see, there she goes. There she goes. Got news for you, girl. This is all Miss Clairol. I'm gray as heck. But anyway, which
we're
is
not
kind of
only
like blonde.
You're not only helping the cats, you're helping the neighborhood, because these people don't want their neighborhoods overrun by cats.
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
I tell people all the time, TNR is good if you love cats and if you don't love cats.
Right.
Humane population control.
Exactly.
Even when a lot of bird people, I get so many messages from bird
Oh, I
people.
know.
Like, bird people, I love y'all. We are on the same team. I promise you,
Yes.
because it's humane population control. So it's better for the birds. It's better.
Yes. Yes.
That's always a tough battle, because people are like, oh, cats are this or that. Trust me, if you love them, it's good. If you don't, it's
Sure.
good.
Is good.
sure.
We're gonna help you out so they're not
Right.
overrun.
It's good.
We've done several behavior sessions with people that what triggered the cat's behavior, which made him aggressive and or peeing all over the place, was
The feral
neighborhood
cat.
cats out by the window that
Yeah.
they smelled. Cats are territorial. Get out of my yard. I am now going to spray the yard to teach you a lesson. My
Yep.
mother doesn't appreciate it, but that's okay.
Especially if they're not spayed and neutered, you know, because even
Yeah.
a neutered male knows when there's a female in heat out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can smell. I've been
Uh-huh.
trapping. You can smell an unneutered male. You can know. I mean,
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
been
God,
some
yes.
places and I'm like, oh, I smell the male.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a very
Mhm.
pungent
They're around.
Oh,
smell.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh. Exactly. It's yeah. And you
Things
know,
the nose a little.
yeah, it does. Uh-huh. And they just, but to control that, people have to get in and do something, and everybody can do something, right? Like,
Oh,
look in your community. Is there a TNR thing in your community? I know our animal shelter loans out their humane traps for
That's
no
how you-
money.
That's how you got.
That's how I
got.
caught. That's how I
Yeah.
caught the orange boy behind me, who is right now grooming
Oh.
himself. Oh,
Man,
brat.
that's what
But
it is.
yeah, Kismet. That's my FIV kitty that was adopted. And as I told you before we started, there was a shelter in Waxhaw, North Carolina, that she
She's
was
in
watching
Wilmington
this
now.
colony, and she's in Wilmington now, and she was watching this colony, and she was determined to catch them, and she caught that orange boy, and he was just purr, love. And he's
It's like, you're not feral.
he's not feral. I think he was
Right.
just hanging out for protection, and he was beat up, ear mites, fleas, FIV positive. He was just a mess, skin and bone skinny, and such a lover, but nobody wanted him. So he got flown to Ohio, and I adore him. And then we got his girlfriend, and I wouldn't have him if it weren't for someone doing TNR.
I love that. I love that.
I will tell you, my oldest daughter has a seizure disorder that they just cannot get under control. And once it starts, she always knows when it's coming. And once it starts, nothing stops it. And she came in my room a couple of years ago. Now we keep Kismet on hand. And she said, it's starting. I need to sit down. I need you to watch me. I'm getting hot. And Kismet came in the room, beelined for her, jumped up on her, got close, started purring. I'm gonna actually cry, and stopped her seizure dead in the tracks. And he can do it every time.
Yeah, wow. It's been more than once he's done that.
And I have that cat because someone did TNR.
That is amazing. But it says a lot. It should say a lot, though. Wow.
Yeah, that kept my heart for many reasons. She keeps threatening to steal him, and people are like, he helps her. You have to. I'm not letting him go. He's mine. So yeah.
So how can people get more involved with TNR, Sterling, in their neighborhoods?
So I like to always tell people. I mean, of course, you can follow me, trapkinghumane.org. Follow me on social media, but I always love to tell people too. To look up Alley Cat Allies, their website.
Oh yeah, I know them. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, their website is amazing. I like to refer people there. And then just locally, if you go to your local county shelter, you will be surprised at, especially animal control, at how much they would prefer. If there's already a group, or if there's not a group, they would prefer a group, because it's a lot on them.
We don't have one here.
Yeah. We don't anymore either. They when I was talking to the lady that owned a local shelter, my favorite shelter around here, and she said they worked tirelessly at a trailer park, and they finally had everybody. But it's just, it just happens again, right? Somebody lets their cat out.
You got it. That's why a lot of people say trap, neuter, return, and they add an M in there for maintain, which is maintain the colony. And that's an important thing. That's important. But once you have that TNR, that colony, and you maintain that colony, it's a lot easier and helpful too, because again, the things that you probably don't want in the neighborhood, the cats can help keep out.
Oh, exactly. My daughter had a neighbor when she was sharing it like a duplex, and the neighbor had a heart for cats, so she used to leave food out to feed the strays. But
I remember that.
It was untenable. There were cats everywhere. One mama had her babies on the roof, and Nikki said one day she looked out the window and there were kittens dropping,
rolling down
like snow. And
they were okay.
Bring it back up. And and there's a park really close there, and they were getting hit, and there were cats that were ill or had issues, or one had a wonky eye, and it was too much.
Every city one everywhere has this issue.
Exactly. And the city actually forced her to stop, threatened to fine her to stop feeding the cats because it was creating such an issue. But then how do you not feed the cat, right?
Yeah. And that's one thing. Another thing that people don't understand, what you got, because I deal with apartment complexes and HOAs.
Oh yeah, those are famous for those.
Don't feed the cats, we'll fine you. But here's the thing. Without some type of proper TNR program, the cats, there isn't no extermination. Whatever reason those cats came, even if you could exterminate and pull all those cats out, more will come. That's called the vacuum effect. There's a reason for that. So, but if you maintain the colony, then those cats that are there will be the only cats there, and they'll keep the other cats from coming in.
That's right.
Exactly.
They'll go in like, hey, these cats got weird ear tips. They not mating. I got to fight over food. I'm out of here.
Right.
It's not
There's
working.
something really wrong with these guys. I don't know.
I'm just leaving. I'm going to another neighborhood.
These are not
I
my
can't
people.
populate here, so I'm not
exactly. These are not my people. Yeah.
And if you can't physically go out and join and do TNR, you can support. Go to trapkinghumane.org, donate. Donate to your local rescues that are doing TNR. Look at your cat. Which one is that, Kizzy?
Look at right back there,
baby. You want up here?
Hey, what you doing?
He's posing for you. He
usually likes to lay on the back of my chair. I don't know why he's hesitating, but
he is there because of TNR.
That's right. this man does what saved you and
He was-
brought you here. You should be very thankful. Give him a nice meow. Yeah.
I know
No,
we're
I'm
over
disagreeing.
on time, and I hate to end this. We would love to have you back, but any last words of wisdom for people, Sterling?
Hey, I would say, everything we're talking about with TNR, ton of different opinions, but the alternative to this is death. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the alternative. So what we're doing, again, is good if you love cats. It's good if you don't. And as always, you don't lose cool points for compassion.
I love that. That's a good
it.
phrase. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope you'll come back again. I hope you'll come through the Charlotte area so we can meet in person. We'll make sure Linda comes down.
I was going to say, let me know first, woman.
For
You do it
sure.
behind my back, you're in so much trouble.
I would never do that.
I know where you live and I have a key to your door.
I would never do that. Never, never. The lovely Linda Hall, my co-host and everything, including my BFF in life, my work wife, Trap King Sterling Davis, who does such awesome work out there. And Mark Winter, our producer, who gave us the spot on Pet Life Radio. Thank you so much. Until next time, remember, every day is Catter Day.